just like smoky. It's like, wait a minute, is that how it's supposed to be? And I wonder how much the smoke put out, I mean, the rain put out fire. So maybe that's also what's going on. Okay, so if you're joining online, thanks for coming. We're just going to have a couple blocks today, and we're going to start seated. So you can sit on a block if you wish, or just on your bum. And so we'll let your spine be tall and close down your eyes. Let your hands rest on your legs. Good. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Do 2 more of those at your own pace. So allowing your rib cage to expand as you breathe in. And when you breathe out, just through the mouth, every last drop of air. And just one more. Close down your mouth, keeping your eyes closed. Start to tuck your chin down towards the heart slightly. Allow your heart to lift up towards your chin. And feel the tops of your shoulders soften away from your ears. And this very gentle tugging and lifting of the crown of your head up towards the sky. And this magnetism towards the earth from your tailbone. So feeling the connection of tailbone down to the earth. And so feeling that from the crown of the head to the base of your spine and your entire central column. And just move up and down with your mind, up and down your spine. Feel your spine. Feel into your bones and stacking shoulders over your hips. And allow your attention to now settle into your heart. And just feel your heart. As you feel your heart, soften your eyes. And as you feel your heart, let your breath lengthen. Notice your environment. Feel it. Hear it. Sense your environment. And then simply just allowing your body to breathe. Find your center and be close to that central point. And for these next couple cycles of breath, see if you can notice and intend to infuse your physical body with nourishment. See if you can also infuse your mind with that same idea of nourishment, with a thought or thoughts or words. To simply be here and now. Linger there for just a couple more breaths, really finding, feeling, and experiencing your center whilst at the same time just having a lot of awareness of your environment. A little bit deeper with your breath, noticing the expansion of your rib cage. And a bit more full.
Battery 20%. Connected to.
With your exhalation to make room for the inhale.
Battery 2%.
I don't know what's happening. All right, allow yourself to now come into a child's pose. So extend your hands forward and shift your hips back. Child's pose. I was listening to something with Teal Swan yesterday, and she was talking about how technology, to view technology as an entity and to like make friends with it. And on a weekly basis, I'm having issues with technology. So I'm like, maybe I need to make friends with technology. Maybe that's what's going on. Take a couple of breaths here. Shift your hips side to side. In your child's pose, hips and shoulders, just feeling these two areas. You can start to lift the palms of your hands. So it's like you cup your hands onto the floor, lifting the elbows off the ground. And then just dropping one shoulder, one armpit towards the floor at a time as you shift your gaze to the right and to the left. Creeping your fingertips just a little bit more forward. And then arriving up onto your fingertips. From your fingertips, elbows bend and brush past your rib cage, lower down to the floor. From your fingertips, roll the tops of the shoulders down and back and push away from the ground. And then exhale to lower yourself down to the floor. Keep your fingertips on the ground as you do this again, rolling the shoulders back and keeping your elbows close to the body, cobra. And one more time as you inhale, shoulders down the back and peeling back and opening through the chest, possibly going further. And then exhale to lower yourself down. Take your hands wider off your mat even and bend your elbows. And then just start to roll one shoulder at a time towards the floor. So rolling. And just allowing your legs to be extended back behind you and just navigating through this joint. Your shoulders, right and left side. So just rolling, smoothing out the edges, and now take it in the other direction. So if you're rolling forward, now roll it back. Continuing through the nose, breathing. And ideally, we're working to balance out the inhale and the exhale. All right, take both of your shoulder heads and roll them down and forward towards the ground, and then rolling them back behind you as you push away onto the fingertips again here. Coming up to the height of your chest that feels accessible for your spine today. And if it's possible to lift your pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, possibly also index finger off the ground. Lift your gaze. And then exhale to lower down to the floor. Now sweeping the hands back. So walking your fingertips towards the knees. Your pinky fingers are facing each other outside the hips. Now from here, lifting your feet and then bending the knees. As your knees are bent and your fingertips reaching back, keep your hands on the floor, fingertips at least. Fingertips can be on the ground. And as your knees are bent, try and lift your knees off the ground. Lifting your knees at a height where you feel the back body come alive. And then keep the feet, knees, and hips in alignment. You just feel that. As you breathe in, maybe your gaze lifts up a little bit further. Or you can keep your chin towards your chest. Take 2 more breaths, lifting your knees, lifting your thighs. And then straighten out the legs, tuck your toes under, hands underneath of your shoulders, and peel the shoulders back, look down, push away from the ground, high plank. From high plank, roll your feet over to the right, and then roll your feet over to the left. And just keep doing this from side to side. And to take it further and deeper, you can let your hip come closer to the ground. But as you find yourself in the plank, really puff up your upper back. Push away from the ground. Moving from side to side. If you really want to work into the low back, dip and even touch your hip to the floor. And one more time to each side so that you finish with a balance from side to side. And then from your high plank, bending at the knees, downward dog to lift your hips, to drop your head. And start to move your heels up and down. Shift your hips to the right and to the left. And exaggerated movements for your spine, for the tissues along your spine, front and back, side to side. Maybe your feet move. But just ensuring that when you do look at your feet that they are shoulder distance apart, so you can see that as you look back. And then on your next exhale, taking many steps, coming to the top of your mat, tippy toe walk or heel toe walk, up to you. And then when you arrive at the top of your mat, separating the feet, bending the knees generously, lifting the chest right up and off your thighs, and then resting it down as you reach for your elbows and possibly start to straighten your legs, drop your head. As you drop your head is heavy at the top of the spine, and you can just sway from side to side. Gentle movement here. Take just another breath. And then as you release your hands to the floor, bring your hands to the outside of your shins and push into your shins. But then at the same time, push your shins into your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Find a halfway lift. And then exhale, relax the legs, relax the arms and fold. And keep doing that. So inhale to halfway lift, shins to hands, hands to shins, and then fold in. We'll do 2 more of those. Equal weight standing on the feet as well as you pulse through the breath, the engagement, the release. 2 points of the ball of the foot, and also at the heel that's evenly holding your weight. Fold, fold, fold. And then inhale to rise up. It's a reverse dive, so reach up towards the sky. Look up. Gather your hands to your heart for Samastitihi. Equal weight on the feet. Inhale, reach up, look up. And as you exhale, dive forward. Fold, leading with the heart. Take an inhale. Find a halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. That same feeling in the legs. And then hands to the floor. Left foot only, stepping back. You can keep your knee off the floor. Hands on blocks. Blocks framing your front right foot. And just rock yourself forward and back. forward and back for the hips. Sorry, Carrie. Yeah, 2 blocks is good. So whatever level matches your anatomy and also the space in your body, how tight you are. Rock forward and back. And then from here, you're going to walk yourself forward with the block so that you can push away and find a supported airplane. The back of your bottom of the left foot presses away from the hip. And then bend your right knee. You want to find a lower point for the hips as you bend your right knee. Walk your blocks over to the left side. And as you do that, the left foot moves across to the opposite right side. And then you come back around using your blocks. Make sure you're continuing to breathe through the nose. Go over to the right. As you keep your right foot planted, but the left foot moves. Go again to the other side. Navel to spine every time you exhale. And every time you inhale, noticing the length of your spine. So feel into the bones of your spine. And we'll do this a third final time as you walk your blocks to the left. Keep the right knee bent. And blocks to the right. And then as you slowly walk your blocks back in front, you're going to lower the left toes towards the floor. If you need to keep your left knee off the floor because it's sensitive on the floor, you can do that. You can keep your knee up and away. Otherwise, I like to put my knee on the ground, so you can do whatever works for you. Right block beside the hip and your thumb points forward. You can just leave the other block. Left arm is just going to come up and over. Come up and over. And then as you exhale, turn your left shoulder towards the right block, right hand. And then inhale and lift your chest up. Do that again. Exhale. Bring your shoulder toward the block. And then inhale without the elbow lowering so much. It's more of just like turning your chest towards that side. Inhale one more time to exhale there, and then slowly start to straighten your right leg. Now you can place your back knee on the floor if it's not there. And left hand can come outside the foot, drop your head. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then as you slowly come back into the low lunge, right knee bends, lift your back knee, left hand plants below the shoulder, right arm up. Easy twist, look up. Lift up. And then on the exhale, a downward facing dog, lifting your hips up high. Inhale, coming forward to high plank. And as you exhale, lower down to the ground, right? All the way down. Little cobra, peel the shoulders up and back. And then exhale to lower down. Next inhale, this is full locust. So your arms up and legs up. Everything up. And then hands under shoulders. As you breathe out, look down. Little cobra. Last time. Full locust. Inhale, everything comes up. And then hands under shoulders, tucking your toes. Push away, high plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, looking forward, stepping or walking your feet forward to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, fold, bend the knees, reverse dive, reach up towards the sky, look up. And exhale, your hands come to your heart for Sama Stitihi. Arms up, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out, leading with the heart. Take an inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine, blocks in front, and the right foot steps back. Low lunge, you can first just be here, feeling your alignment. It's like your thighs want to squeeze together, so that's the idea. Breathing softly in and out of the nose. And then as you come to the highest level, blocks in front, lift your back foot, a supported airplane. Pull your right toes towards your face. It's like you're walking on an imaginary wall behind, so press through the heel. And then bend your left knee, walk your hands over to the right, actually, sorry. And as you do that, your foot goes the opposite way. Bend your front knee a lot, and then back, good. Straighten your right leg more. Keep your right leg straight as you do this motion. And try to have less weight on your hands. Less weight on the blocks, just be really light. Every time you exhale, feel your navel come closer towards your spine. And then as you slowly come back to center, lowering the right toes towards the floor, and then stay with your knee off the ground or put it down, left hand beside the hip, right arm comes up and over. Take an inhale here as you extend long, and then just exhale like you want to drop your right shoulder towards that left block, and then inhale, lift it up again. So it's just like little movements. You're not going to actually bring your hand or elbow towards that block, but it's just like, can you just turn and look to that side? And then just syncing the movement with the breath. Take another inhale to lift your gaze. And as you look towards the left block, straighten out the front leg. Hand over foot, maybe head drops down. A bow, a settle, a moment. And then plant the right hand below the shoulders. You come into a low lunge, lift the back knee, and lift your left arm. A twist. Take a full inhale. Exhale, a downward facing dog. As you inhale, travel forward to high plank. And at your pace, chaturanga, lowering halfway to the ground. Push the floor away as you peel your shoulders up and back. And a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up towards the sky, back at the heel high. And as you exhale, draw your knee forward, and step into a low lunge. Hover your fingers now off the ground. And your choice, arms can go wide, or you can place your hands on the left knee as you lift your left foot. Slowly turn your head towards the left, foot goes to the other side. And then slowly bring yourself to the other side. And then as you come back to center, full airplane, push away as you open your arms, open your chest. Inhale, your arms come forward. Bend your front knee more as you slowly step back into warrior one. Reach up and maybe back. Take a full inhale here as you lift. And then bring your hands to your heart center. Exhale, interlock the fingers, push the air away, and see if you can almost like hollow out your belly. Bring your tailbone forward and keep pressing into the back heel. Drop your chin. Next, inhale. Your chest is going to lift up. Keep tugging your tailbone down towards the floor and bend your right knee. Take just another inhale to lift up and out of the waist. And then just holding onto your left wrist with your right hand, reach up and over to the right. And at the same time, really straighten out your back leg. Take your right shoulder just a little forward and your left shoulder a little bit back. Next inhale, both of your arms come up, fly back into an airplane. So lifting your back leg. Inhale, your arms come forward as you slowly step it back into a low lunge and your back knee touches the floor. You can keep it lifted if you need to. If your knee is sensitive, hands to heart, twist right. So you twist, left elbow touches your knee and you're twisting. And you lift your heart closer to your thumb. And if you want, you can lift your back knee also. Good. And then just soften the muscles around your mouth and your eyes. And breathe here for 3, for 2. Look down first, and then left hand plants below the shoulder. Step right foot halfway back as you find the outer edge of your left foot. Right arm up. A side plank to lift your hips, and then as you lower the hip, reach back towards the right foot. Even look to the foot. And next, inhale, push the hip up and reach up and over, and keep going with your breath. One more, exhale. Last inhale, and find a downward facing dog. As you inhale, travel forward to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. An upward dog to peel your shoulders back. And a downward facing dog. Lift your left leg now. Big breath in. And as you exhale, stepping forward into a low lunge. Float your fingers off the floor and keep your left knee bent. Either opening your arms or fingers to left knee and float the back foot. Keep your left knee bent. Head towards the right. Back foot towards the left. And then go the other way. Head towards the left. Foot towards the right. As you slowly come back to center, can you straighten your left leg and push away as you open up into a full airplane? Arms forward as you breathe in, bending your left knee and stepping it back into warrior one. Reach up, maybe back. I'm feeling the outer edge of your right foot into the floor. Gather your hands to your heart as you interlock the fingers. Push it away. Drop your chin and feel like you're hollowing out your belly. Drop your chin. And then an inhale to lift your chest up. Tailbone tugs down. Lift up and over to the left as you hold your wrist with your left hand. And at the same time as you do that, keep pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. Take your left shoulder a bit forward, your right shoulder just a little bit back. Breathing. Good. Next inhale, come back up to center. Straighten your arms, reach up. And as you exhale, fly airplane. On your inhale, arms forward, bend your front knee, slowly stepping back into a low lunge, gathering your hands to your heart. Drop the knee if you did on the other side, chest up, and twist left now, right elbow to your knee as you twist. As you twist, as you turn towards the left. You can lift your back knee if you did on the other side. You can lift your left heel. Also, if you want to deepen this, twist. Heart towards thumbs. Patient, steady with your inhales and exhales. And then as you exhale, right hand below the shoulder, look down. Side plank. Find the outer edge of the right foot. Step part way back. Left arm to the sky, and then lower your hip and reach back towards the bottom back foot. As you exhale, go up again as you inhale. This is your rhythm to follow your breath. One more time to exhale and lower the hip. And inhale to extend. And then exhale to find a downward facing dog. Forward to high plank. Exhale to chaturanga. An inhale to find an upward dog. And an exhale, downward facing dog. Lift up your right leg now. Bend your knee and open your hip. And as you do that, keep your arms straight, hands pressing into the ground. Next, exhale, pull your knee forward, maybe touch it to your nose and pause. And then a stepping forward with the foot. Low lunge, hover the fingers. And maybe if you have not done this yet, you let your arms open to the side as you float the back foot. Keep your right knee bent. Slowly turn towards the left with your head, with your chest, and then turns toward the right. Nice and steady as you come back to center. And then an inhale to all the way lift into airplane. From airplane, left hip, left arm lifts, and finding yourself in half moon. Back into airplane. Inhale, your arms come forward, and slowly stepping back into warrior one. Arms come up. Gather your hands to your heart. And then from here, we're going to actually bring your arms back up. And when you exhale, elbows and wrists are going to come together and tuck it in towards your pelvis. And at the same time, tailbone forward, chin drops. And then inhale to lift up and back. Lower the knee, lower the hip. Exhale back together. Do that again. Keep your back legs stable and straight. Bring it in one more time, dropping your chin. And then inhale, your arms come up. Now from here, we're going to go right into a revolved half moon. So you come forward with the left hand and lift the back foot as your right arm lifts. Now you might need to put a block under your left hand. Good. And if the right hand lifted just feels really like sticky, you can place your right hand on your low back. Or yeah, if you want to bend your left knee and hold your foot, do that. See if you can find some steadiness with your breath. Settle in, smoothing out the edges. For 3, for 2. And as you gently release the foot, look down, left hand plants a side plank on this left hand and left foot. And the right arm comes up towards the sky. Reaching up and over quite possibly. Staying for 3, for 2. And I'm going to make an add-on here. So if you want to take a figure 4 with your legs, so right ankle on top of left knee, you can do that. You can also just have your foot close to the leg so that the knee touches into the ankle, if you wish for that. And we're going to make our way into high plank, still holding the figure 4. It's up to you if you want to continue through chaturanga this way. And as you find an up dog, you bend it at the elbows if you're still in the figure 4. And then back into a downward facing dog. One more time, lifting the right leg up. Pull your knee across to the left wrist. And then kick out to the left side of your mat with this leg. Find the instep now of your left foot and finding rock star. So lifting your hips up and dropping your head. Looking around, opening the arm, the chest. And as you slowly exhale to find downward dog, lift your left leg up. Inhale, knee comes forward. Pause as you squeeze towards your nose and then step into a low lunge. Allow your arms to go wide, opening wide, and then float the leg, float the right leg. Keep your left knee bent as you do this. All right, for the other side. So you're turning your head, your chest towards the right, foot towards the left, and go the other way. Nice and slow, keep your left knee bent. And as you find yourself back in center, push away from the floor, straighten the left leg, and then open into half moon as your right leg lifts, as the right foot. Toes point to the right side. Right arm comes up. And breathe. Find some steadiness there. Good. On your next exhale, looking down back into airplane. And then inhale, reach your arms forward, bending the front knee and stepping back into warrior one as your arms come up. As you exhale, elbows, wrists come in, and then pull your elbows down towards your tailbone, your pubic bone. And then inhale, tailbone back, maybe as your arms reach up and back. Bring it in to center, chin in, and then reach up and back. One more, chin in, elbows towards pubic bone. And then inhale to lift up. Moving right into that revolved half moon where the right hand is on a block or the floor. And you straighten out the right leg. As you start to peel the left shoulder up, opening your chest towards the left side. Making sure that you are breathing as you straighten out the right leg. As you maybe lift your left hand. Breathe, 4, 3, 4, 2. And slowly lowering your foot back to the ground as you look down, side plank with your right hand planted and left foot all the way or halfway back. Your variation, your version. And then just finding some steadiness here for a few cycles. Some ease. And if you join me on the other side with that figure 4 left ankle touching your right thigh or knee, you can always have your left foot on the floor. Take an inhale, and when you exhale, arriving into plank, still holding that figure 4. Chaturanga. And then a cobra or an up dog. And back into downward facing dog. Lifting your left leg, pull your knee across to your right elbow or wrist, and then kick away from your mat off to the right. Find the instep of the right foot as you start to open up. As you lift your hand, open your chest. Nice. Exhale, find a downward facing dog. Inhale, travel forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. An upward dog to peel up and back. And a downward facing dog looking at the feet. From here, separate your feet wider to maybe the edges of your mat, bending your knees as you walk your hands back towards your feet. And as your knees bend, you can drop your hips, arriving in a squat. Your hands can come closer towards the heart. If you want to turn your toes out, that works too. And then we're going to just drop your left shoulder down. And if the bind is available for you, taking your right hand around your back and maybe interlock your fingers underneath your hips. I always got to kind of like lift my butt up for a moment and then grab a hold of that. So you can do that if it feels appropriate. If the grip isn't there, you can always just drop your shoulder and take your right hand behind you. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So dropping your right shoulder and turn. Left hand around to interlock. Or not. And then find yourself back at center point. All right, you're going to feel this right foot is where we're coming up to balance on the right foot. So in your next inhale, it's like starfish, balancing on the right foot, lift your left foot and open your arms. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. So back into the squat, bending at the knees, and then back to open up. And one more time to go down. Yoga is like all about these really slow, controlled movements and not so much about more explosive. And so the point is just to kind of add something a little different. As you come up to stand, lift your left knee up towards the sky and also lift your arms up. Right hand to left knee, left hand is going to reach back. And if it's possible or available, your left leg straightens out. And then as you come back to look forward, keep your leg where it is. Keep that foot up nice and high. Lift your arms. And then just step into pyramid, left heel and then toe down. Pyramid. Here, hands together. Cross your thumbs, reach up towards the sky. Tuck your chin towards your chest and slowly curl, rounding forward, coming all the way down. Now, as your head drops, bend your back knee and reach your hands back behind your right knee to interlock your fingers. Then straighten your back leg and maybe let your forehead touch your left knee. And breathe. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. And then coming up the same way you went down, so take your hands together, hands in prayer across the thumbs, uncurl, unravel, and as you come up to stand, lift your right knee up towards your chest. Lift up. Take your right palm now, like you're holding a tray, and hold the inside of the right foot. Kick up and back for dancer. Kick up and back. And then from dancer, we're going to slowly bring your left hand to the floor or your block. And then maybe open your chest and your hips towards the right sugarcane. Now as you slowly lower your gaze in your right hip, release the foot, take your right hand now to the floor. Keep the bend of the right knee though. And take your left hand to your other foot, to your right foot. Left hand to right foot. You can turn this more into that revolved half moon, or you can keep yourself folding and dropping your head into more of a standing split. As you gently release that foot, we slowly arrive into airplane. From airplane, coming all the way up to stand, lifting your right knee, hands to your heart. Right fingers can reach down for your right big toe, and either extending the leg straight out or keep the knee bent. You can slowly start to open the leg and open the hip towards the right side. Tailbone down towards the mat. Left hand on the hip or out to the side. And just find yourself steady. And breathe. For 3. For 2. And as you slowly bring that leg back in front, extend your right leg away from the hip. Let your palms face forward. Point your toes at a 45 and just pulse that leg up and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross the leg over. And then when the foot connects, reach your arms up towards the sky and dive down, leading with your heart, bending at the front knee more if you need. And as you come all the way down, your hands can walk towards the right, but at the same time, move your left hip back and straighten out your back leg. That's it. You can lift the instep of your back foot as well to really stretch, to really extend through that whole side. And then bring your hands in front. Now as you lift your chest, keep your legs as they are. You're going to allow your back knee to bend and touch your front knee. So bend, and as you do that, drop your hips. Slowly lowering your hips. So what you can do is place a block underneath of your left knee if you feel that this is a bit precarious. But otherwise it is like balancing on your back toes. Sitting up tall, arms are going to come up, and you're going to bring your hands to your heart, twist left. Left. Right. Other left. Twist right. So your hands can move towards your heart. That's it. And then slowly come back to center, and your arms are going to reach open. Now we're going to go into eagle from here. So arms open, back onto the left foot, right leg on top. Right arm comes underneath, cross and twist high your arms together. Squeeze everything tight and maybe sit down a little lower. Settle in and stay steady for 3, for 2. And as you unravel your arms and legs, place both feet together side by side, bend the knees, and sit down low into a chair. You might need to put your block beside you. Arms come up. And then hands come in front of you slightly so you can lean in for crow. So knees to backs of elbows or arms, lifting the toes. And not here too long before you send your legs back. Chaturanga and upward dog. Downward dog. Feet to the edges of your mat, walk back into the squat. Bending at the knees. And so we do the other side now. Okay, so 3 times. We're going to just use a little bit more explosive action for the stabilizers. So next, inhale, left foot plants. Lift your right foot. And then back down, bending both knees. Inhale, lift. And then one more time. Lower down. Lift. Stay here. And then as you slowly come up, bending the right knee, arms are going to come up. Reach to the sky. Left hand outside right knee and right hand reaching back to twist. And straightening out the right leg if you did on the other side. Good. Stand up tall, maybe look to the right. And then just keep your right leg where it is. Lifting both arms up. And if you want to straighten your leg now, you can. You're going to slowly step it forward into pyramid. Heel, toe down. Both legs straight, reach up. Hands together, cross the thumbs. The opposite way, opposite grip maybe. Tuck your chin to your chest. Although, I don't really know, how big of a difference that makes truly. Can't have the same thumb come all the way down, round, round, round. Maybe it's more for the brain than the body. Right, it's like a mudra. And then taking the hands behind your left leg, bend the left knee, keep touching, tucking in, forehead to knee. And as your back leg straightens with your hands behind the knee, that just increases the length. Lengthen too with your breath. Good. A very slow unraveling here now. So back to how you started, coming all the way up. When you're all the way up, lifting your left knee up to your chest. And it's your left hand that goes palm up. Reach for the inside of the foot. Dancer with the left hand. Holding foot, kick up and back. Kick up and back. And as you find Dancer, just linger there for a couple cycles of breath. As you slowly lift your left hip and lower the right hand, it becomes more like sugar cane, like a half moon variation. From sugar cane, moving more into a standing split or revolved half moon if you choose that instead. So the left hand plants and the right hand holds on to your foot. Slow down your breath. Lengthen, lengthen. And as you gently release that foot back behind you, you rise into airplane and come all the way up to stand, lifting your left knee up. With your left knee lifted, your left hand can reach down for your big toe, or you can hold on to your knee still. If you have that grip, right hand extended out or on the hip, and you can extend the leg. So heel away and then opening, opening. And then let this be your own kind of exploration. Stay steady with your breath. Take your time. And then as you slowly come back to center, extend your left leg away from you. Palms can face forward. Left foot at a 45-degree angle and lift it up to the highest point. And then just start to lift and lower the leg. Up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crossing that leg over and in front. Reach up. And as you exhale, slowly coming down as you bend your front knee. Hands come to the floor. Walk your hands over to the left, but at the same time, ask your right hip to come back. As your right hip leans back, drop your head. You can peel away the instep of your back foot too. Good, and then bring your hands forward in front of you, lifting your back heel, and just start to bend into the knee, knee to knee, as you lower your hip. Block underneath of your knee if you need that extra support. All right, reach your arms up, and we're going to twist to the left. So hands to your heart, twist left, right elbow to your knee, and twist. Finding balance, like your thighs want to squeeze together. Twist for 3, for 2. 1, back to center, open your arms up, and back into the right foot. We're going into eagle. So left leg stays on top, arms up, left arm under, cross and twist tie your arms together. Elbows together, lower down, lower the knees, lower the hips, bend the knees. Squeeze your arms and legs. Breathe, stay here, steady. For 3, for 2. Feet together, unravel your arms, keep the knees bent, sit down, interlock your fingers, push your palms away from you. Lower your hips a lot. And then hands in front as you come into crow. Lift your knees, lift your feet, sorry. From crow, it's up to you how you want to get there, if you want to keep your feet floating, but moving into headstand. So top of your head touching down to the floor. teddy bear headstand or all the way. Just keep breathing through your nose. Back with your feet on the floor into a squat. From your squat, set your hips down to the floor. Grab a hold of your big toes. Lift your feet for boat. Now bending your left knee. Keep your right leg straight. Slowly lowering your feet to the floor into a side stretch. So left arm comes up and over. Reach for the foot. And then lower your chest down towards your knee, forehead to knee, holding your foot with both hands. And then as you lift your chest, just bend your right knee so that the shin is parallel to more of the top of your mat. And take your left knee behind you. This becomes like deer. You've done it probably in yin. So keeping the back knee bent. Heart comes forward. And then slowly lowering down towards the floor. Placing a block under your head if that feels appropriate. Stay for a few cycles of breath, maybe exhaling even longer than you inhale. And then as you come up, you're going to turn to the left long edge of your mat, lifting both of your knees. Hands come behind you. And then straightening out the legs, so nice and wide. Wide stance. Here. Okay, shift yourself fingertips towards hips. It's like you slightly want to tilt your tailbone back, lift your heart up. Press into the backs of the heels, fire up your legs. And then walk your hands either side of the right leg. Blocks might be needed, okay? And then coming towards the right foot. Take forehead to knee, take hands to back of knee even. And then as you slowly lift your chest, bend your left knee, bring your heel really close to the glute, the groin, and then turn yourself now so that you're hovering knee towards chest in a plank facing the back of your mat. Good. Lower your knee down to your wrist and then pull it up and do that like 5 times, lowering it and lifting it up and down the leg. And then lower it right down to your wrist and walk your foot back. Now it's pigeon on this side, so sit up tall. And so it's up to you if you want to bend your back knee. Find mermaid even. Just holding the foot. When you're ready, you can settle into pigeon on this side. On your next exhale, lower your left hip to the floor. Start to turn yourself around to look at your back toes. One more time, opposite hand to right foot. Reach over. And then your left hand is going to plant behind you, and you can find a side plank variation or wild thing where your right foot comes behind. If you want to turn this into wheel, you can do that too. And then everyone's elbow is going to bend and let your hips lower back to the ground. Tuck your knees into your chest. Just give yourself a hug. Forehead to knees. Allow your hands to come down to the outside of your feet now. Let yourself rock back. If you need to hold your knees to do that, to come more into boat. If it's possible to lift your legs up, your feet up, do that. And bend your right knee, feet to the ground, as you find this side extension now on the left side. So left elbow down and your right arm over. Extension for the side, for your organs. And then look down and hand over hand, reaching for the foot, forehead drops down. And then as you come up, take your left knee to bend, and so your shin is parallel to the top of your mat. Back into that deer for this side. So your shin's parallel, your back knee is bent, and you can just turn yourself towards the front of your mat and slowly come down to rest your forehead on a block or your mat. Longer exhalations. Unclenching your jaw. And as you lift yourself up, turning to the right long edge and lifting your knees, both your legs extend wide. And so just, again, it's like tilting your pelvis slightly, tailbone back, chest up. And then hands either side of your left leg as you walk your hands towards the foot, the knee. A deep bow here as well. And then as you come up, bending your back knee, your right knee, that's by your back. Tuck your knee and heel really close to your groin. Hands are going to plant at the back of your mat, tuck your back toes under. Plank, hugging your knee into your chest, and then knee to elbow, drop it to wrist and lift it. Do 5 of those. And when you've finished 5, you place your knee down for pigeon, sitting up tall. Maybe first bending your back knee for mermaid, or just holding on to the foot. And then you can settle into pigeon. Lower the right hip. Straightening out your left leg. Look towards that foot. One more time to reach towards the foot. Forehead to knee. And not here too long before going into the side plank or wild thing variation. So right hand can plant. So whatever you did on the other side, doing here. Side plank, wild thing. And then your hips come down and your feet are going to come together, facing the front of your mat. So you can have your feet together and just walk your hips away from your heels. Hips go back. Another opportunity to just lengthen and release any tension in the posterior chain. So forehead down onto block or feet. Can you exhale a little bit longer than you inhale? And so making your way on your back now. Happy baby, you can hold on to your toes and roll back. And so I leave it up to you for final movements. If you feel like you need a plow or another inversion, or even a back bend, I'll leave it up for you to decide what your body needs. Just a few more cycles of breath wherever you are. Unwind into Shavasana. Take a big breath in, and long breath out. Shavasana. And so if you're practicing online, thanks so much for practicing. Have a great Shavasana. Namaste.